Summer is over. The excuses are over. Let's go. Before you get mad, I'm not actually talking about excuses in a judgmental way. I'm talking about the reasons we keep telling ourselves that now isn't the right time. See, I've heard it all. I'll start after the kids go back to school. I'll start after vacation. I'll start after my birthday. I'll start after the holidays. Work is crazy right now. I'll start Monday. Just did a whole video on starting Monday. But what happened when there's always something? And if you've lived this life long enough, I'm sure you know that there's always something. So today I want to talk to you about why you have to stop waiting for the perfect time and how to start even when your life isn't perfectly organized. Just in case, welcome back. If you don't know who I am Chelsea C., your fitness and nutrition coach, always doing the most so you don't have to. And for the past 20 years, I've helped women lose weight, get stronger, healthier, and more confident. See, I've worked with more than 10,000 women over the 20 years. And if there's one thing I've learned is that there's never going to be a perfect time to take care of yourself. Or we can even think of there's never not a perfect time to not take care of yourself. So if you're a professional woman over 40 who's been saying, I know what I need to do, I just can't seem to stay consistent, you're in the right place. Make sure you stay to the end, take out a pen and paper, or rewatch it again. But I like to take notes. Settle in. This is a good one. All right, so I'll tell you a story about a former client. I just called the other day because I like to check in on my clients, whether they're working with me now or in the past. We'll call her Melissa. Okay. 45, pretty powerful in the broker real estate, maybe. Yeah, real estate area. So Melissa's always working, has a son, has actually two sons and a husband. Okay. So when I did work with her, she had some good amount of weight to lose, working on, eating better, sleeping, all the things that I've talked about in all the videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please check out the stress video, the sleep video, the take care of yourself video, right? So all the things that I am sharing in these videos, I actually coach my clients with and they get results. So don't take it for granted that this is on YouTube. So this information can't be valuable because you'll be sadly mistaken. Anyway, back to Melissa. Okay, we worked on a lot of things. She made a lot of progress. And she moved on. But like I said, I always like to check in on my clients. So she called her up. How you doing? Things are well. She said her kids just got back, started school. So the first thing she said is, I'm doing well. The kids are back in school. So now I'm going to get back on track because she said, with summer and running around and doing all the programs with the kids, her routine that we had worked on very hard had got disrupted, right? And she knew she wasn't eating enough and she wasn't getting enough movement. So she was ready to get back on track. And she was trying to restart. So I'm listening. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I really hope when I check back in with her a month from now, we're not having the same conversation. Because I know how this goes, right? It's summer, right? And maybe you're not watching this during the summer, but you can probably relate. Summer, right? Busy activities, kids are out. Maybe you have no kids. Maybe you're free from kids, right? And you vacationing in Aruba. That's my dream. Anyway, summer's here. Then it's September, right? So now everybody's kind of getting back into their groove. And then what hits next? October, November, December, holidays, right? More November, December if we're in the States, right? And then right after that is New Year. So it's like 3 months of just holiday stuff, right? And then someone's birthday is probably in between that or before the New Year, right? And then there's birthdays, and there's vacation, and there's busy work, just, the season of busy work. And suddenly you look up and another year has gone by. I'm not saying that's what Melissa's going to do, but without some guidance and some discipline and some accountability, that happens more often than not. Okay. So, just for the sake of that whole thing that I just talked about, I'm really saying, I said all that to say there's always going to be something, right? And I just did the like September holidays. I didn't put kids, something happens with the kids. You got to take care of parents, take care of your spouse. You might get sick. You might have the best year of your life and start just loving life. It could be anything. Life is lifing. Okay, so the real problem isn't the seasons. Okay, so your kids being home isn't the problem. Because I know I used to have all the mothers in the summertime, like, I can't wait for my kids to get back so I can have some me time. So maybe that is the problem. Uh, Vacation isn't the problem. Your birthday isn't the problem. The holidays aren't the problem. The problem is when a temporary disruption becomes a reason to completely stop taking care of yourself. Okay, so we'll go back to Melissa, right? And I don't know, we didn't go into a deep depth conversation. I didn't ask her, like, did you totally fall off? Which, no, I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll call her back and see. Um, but because the kids are out of school, now you can't eat properly. And it's a question. I'm not, no judgment, but, or maybe you can't eat this properly, but can you still walk? Maybe you can't walk, but can you still drink your water? Maybe you can't drink your water, but can you still sleep well? Maybe you can't sleep well. Maybe you can just take a nap, right? So do you see where I'm going with that? Like, because there's just a disruption in your routine, because that happens, doesn't mean that everything has to fall away, right? So we'll take example of vacation. You go to a 7 day vacation. It shouldn't go 7 day vacation and then 5 weeks later you're trying to get back on track, right? Kids home for the summer equals a season, the summer, 6 months of doing nothing, right? So it's like you go from, okay, they're only in school, even if they're out of school for 3 months, now kids are only out of school for like what, a month and a half, it seems like? Poor children, but they don't go to school very often. Anyway, that's a story for another time, right? So something that could be a short disruption turns into your new routine, which is your old routine that got you to where you are now, right? I just did one about the restaurants and meals, right? One meal is one meal. It doesn't have to go into 2 or 3, 4, or 5 days of just eating whatever. And so this is actually, like I said, I'll start again Monday. This is connected to my last video about starting over because we're going to stop living like we need a giant reset every time life happens. So make sure you go check out that video after this one. Okay, I'm dropping gems. All right, so takeaway number one, what I want you to do today is stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect season. Okay, so like I said earlier, I'll start when I have more time. One lady told me, I'll start when I get in. I'll start with you when I get in better shape. Well, the reason why you're talking to me is because you've been trying to do it on your own. You can't, right? So, um, I'm trying to think of all the examples that people have given me, when the kids get out of school. Sometimes it's like, let's start when the kids get out of school. Let's start when the kids go back to school, right? Um, when I have more money and I understand the money bit. But you got to invest in yourself. That's the best investment, best rate of return right there, better than the stock market, baby. Uh, when my sleeping is better, when I'm less stressed. Stress can be a thing. Okay, so the stress one, I might work with you on that one. But the rest is like, what are you waiting for? All the things that people tell me, if you start some of those things, your stress may be a little less because you're sleeping more, right? If you start eating better and moving your body, you'll sleep better. It's a cycle. I say that probably every video at some point. It's a cycle. Can we break this cycle? And sometimes we break the cycle. I'm gonna start getting a whiteboard back here pretty soon. I'm gonna get a good setup. Don't worry. Don't be in class, baby. Um, it's like we're in this circle and we get out, right? I'm helping you get out. And then maybe we don't work together anymore. Maybe something happens. And then you go back into that cycle, right? But you got to see that it's a cycle. See, if you keep waiting for life to calm down before you take care of yourself, you're going to be waiting forever. Okay? So stop waiting. Do something, a baby step. Start imperfectly. Okay? So, like, your first week doesn't have to look like your perfect week. And I talked about this in the last video. Okay? So, let's just say if you want to do 10,000 steps, right? So, I think in the a couple of videos ago, I gave what I would, really good video, exactly what I would tell my 40 plus client if she came to me wanting to lose 10 pounds in about 12 weeks. Okay, I do have a 12-week program, and that's what we do. So I laid that out for you on a platter. So check that out, okay? So some of the things were 10,000 steps, 4 workouts a week, 8 hours of sleep, meal prep, have a balanced meal. Now, do you think if you're trying to change those things, if you don't barely get any steps a day, if you only sleep 4 hours a day, you don't even work out, you don't meal prep, do you think that you're going to be able to do all those perfectly the first week? No. And I don't expect you to, right? The first week, maybe you get 5,000 steps. Maybe your workout is one workout, you did 45 minutes of walking. Maybe you just drank a little water, maybe you went to bed a little earlier. See, it's not about perfection. And that's something that I think keeps a lot of people, a lot of women from being successful in this because you're holding yourself to this high standard that either you're holding it or you think people are holding you to. And as soon as you slip, you're kind of like ashamed, right? You're like, damn, I'm not even going to try, right? At some point, it becomes a point where I'd rather not try than try again and fail. And I get it. Like if you've tried a lot of things and you failed, of course you're not going to want to keep trying. But what I'm challenging you is to rethink what failure is. Do you fail at something because you didn't do it perfectly? Or do you fail because you stopped doing it? Let's just take math, right? I do not like math. Never really liked it, wasn't great at it, but it was whatever. If I keep getting this math problem wrong, right? 4 times 4, right? Keep saying it's 8 because I'm thinking it's addition, but it's multiplication, right? The teacher keeps working on you. Nope, that's not right. Oh, okay. I'm not going to fail. That's not failure every time I get the answer wrong. I'm learning that that is not the right answer, right? And so now I need to count on my hand 4 times 4, right? However we're multiplying it and adding it, you're learning as you're getting these answers wrong. Then finally you get the answer right. So would you say you were a failure? Or do you say that you conquered that? If you got 4 times 4 is 16 eventually. You say, I conquered that, right? Might have been hard. The only way that you would fail or fail that math class is if you quit, right? If you just said, I've tried this too many times and I just can't figure it out, so I'm going to stop. But if you used it as that's not working for me, I might have looked at Cosmo. Do people still do Cosmo and Vogue and stuff? Magazines? I don't know. And it said the 5 ways to get a flat stomach. And one was to do 5 minute plank every day and run 2 miles, right? And you started and you tried and you just tried and you're just like, I'm not a runner and I can't start a 5 minute plank, right? So you learn that you're not a runner and you can't quite do 5 minutes. So you could either start with a minute and maybe change and just take out the running, right? But you're learning what works and what doesn't work for you. And then you have to decide, like, am I really giving my all or am I just like, ah, forget it, right? But you got to rewire what failure is. It's not because I didn't do something perfect, I failed. Anybody that's done anything great in life has failed, but they really learned, and then on the other side was greatness, right? So you don't, something is better than nothing, and imperfect consistency beats perfect inconsistency, right? I'm perfect at inconsistency. I'm very inconsistent, right? But if you're consistent, but you're not perfect, some days you're good, some days you aren't, that's good, okay? So just chew on that, replay this, hopefully a couple times, you'll get what I'm saying. Takeaway 3, make the plan fit your life. And that's kind of what I was saying when I was talking about doing the 5 minute plank and the running. I'm not a runner, so I'm not going to do the 2 mile run. What else you got for me, right? And there's a million ways to lose weight, feel better mentally, physically, emotionally. It's more than one way, okay? So takeaway 3, make the plan fit for your life. So stop trying to make your life fit the plan. Make the plan fit your life. And that's really what we focus on um, in the 12-week Glow Up Reset program is that we're like, I coach them, okay, this is your life. Let's put these things into your lifestyle, right? So like kids home, don't just abandon your workouts. It depends on what kind of kids you got, right? But maybe you do shorten them. I had a client, she had 2 little kids, was it 3? All under like 4. So like one, she would make sure it was sleep. The other 2 would have like a tablet. Then she'd be on the treadmill. She probably only got like 10 minutes in. But and then other days when they were with whoever, she would have longer, right? So that was a way she could do traveling. You could walk. I like to pack my healthy snacks and move when you can. I mean, when I travel, if I am at a hotel, I always work out, but that's not something necessarily that you have to. But a lot of the hotels do have um, workout rooms. If you're doing an Airbnb, then that's when you would walk. Usually, when you're traveling, you're walking and moving a lot anyway, right? If you're busy at work, this is where meal planning ahead, having 2 or 3 easy meals you can rely on. I was talking to my other client the other day, talking about snacks. She had bought some almonds and raisins. She was like, "Oh, so work." She was like, "Oh, I forgot I got my almonds and raisins." Right? Boom, quick and easy at work. Plan ahead. She brought those to her job. Dinner out. Enjoy dinner, but don't turn into an entire weekend. Right? Exhausted? Maybe today's the day for a hard workout. Maybe you take a walk and recover. See, adjusting the plan isn't failing. Quitting is different from adapting. I'm going to mess this up. Hopefully, I don't. I'm working on my quotes. I love quotes, but I tend to turn them around. You'll never fail if you don't quit. You'll never fail if you don't quit. You only fail when you quit. So, quitting is different from adapting. Adapting is like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add this. I'm going to shorten this out. We're putting puzzle pieces. Quitting is just like, all right, I'm going back to this thing that I don't like. I'm uncomfortable here. My stress is out the roof. I'm tired all the time. I don't like the way my clothes fit. I'm not feeling like myself. That's what you're going back to. And I know that's not where you want to be. And if it was easy, we'd all be doing it, right? But it is a process. All right, takeaway 4. Don't turn a temporary situation into a permanent one. I think we kind of talked about that already. So, let me get to another one then. Get back on the next opportunity. Okay, so um, the last video we talked about this a lot. Okay, so if this really hits home for you, go ahead and watch that video. Hopefully, click. We'll be ready to go, boo. All right. So don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until September. Don't wait till January. I keep talking like this. It sounds like a broken record. Okay. Don't wait until the kids go back to school. Okay. Start now. The faster you return to your habits, the less damage one imperfect day can do. For some reason, we think, as I don't know if it's we're giving ourselves permission, right? Because we really don't want to do this. But it's like, oh, I ate bad. So now I'm going to keep going. One of my clients actually said something to me. She said she knows me and another trainer. And she said, you and Michelle, just say, you and Michelle, it's like your lifestyle. I'm not saying you don't eat, that you don't eat bad stuff sometimes, but it's like your lifestyle is healthy. And I kind of laughed. I'm like, yeah, like I eat pizza, I eat hamburgers, like I eat junk food from time to time, right? Not every day. That's not on my meal plan. That's not what I go to. But yeah, I was like, yes, that's the mental shift. I think we think that this is healthy eating and this is me. This is a healthy person. This is what a healthy person does, right? Move, work out, sleep well, have a good routine, meal plan, and then this is me. So if that is that person and just sometimes you go visit and then you come back to you're never gonna you probably will get progress. I've seen this a lot. A lot of my clients get progress. They're like, all right, Chelsea, I don't need you no more. And I'm thinking they're going to be back. They're going to be back. They haven't built enough habits, right? They don't see that healthy habits, healthy living, feeling good, looking good, smelling good, it is me. We're one and the same. And that takes a little time to understand. Like, I am a healthy person. What does a healthy person do? Does A, B, and C. A healthy person may eat out and go to a party and have a couple drinks every so often, but that's not what they do every weekend. They're not pulling in the drive through 5 times out of the week or calling Uber Eats or going to the restaurant every day, right? I'm at home cooking. So that was kind of an epiphany for me. And I told her, I said, that's why we still need to work together because you see yourself as, oh, I'm doing these things, but it's not really me. And she needs to see that the healthy lifestyle needs to fit. And the way we do that is putting it into, she has a social life on weekends, so we plan that ahead, right? I know I'm going to have a social event on Saturday. I go, have fun, do my thing. Saturday, Sunday, I'm back on it. I'm not waiting till Monday. Wednesday, I have a dinner, work dinner. Might eat a little extra. Thursday, I have my meals planned. There's nothing to fall off or come back. I know what's going on. Okay. Now, I want you to think about something. And then we're wrapping this up. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? I mean, that could be, or 5 years from now, 9 years from now, 15 years from now. Because the woman you're going to be, what you're doing today is shaping how you're going to be 10, 15 years from now. Okay. So all the little things, maybe you're like, oh, the kids are going to be out the house. I had a client and actually one of my friends, and I put in one of the videos we talked about um, in 7 years when the kids leave home, she's going to move to Zimbabwe or something, someplace in Africa, I think. Um, and that's fine. That was a whole story, but that's fine. But what she does today, food wise, stress wise, mental wise, sleep wise, is going to affect that next 7 years, right? In that 7 years, she got arthritis, back hurt, gained a lot of weight, on a bunch of medications. Do you think she's going to be able to go to Zimbabwe or the coast of Seychelles or even Martha Vineyard? I'm a travel person, so I'm all thinking about these great traveling places. You know, if you're in pain, if you're exhausted, if you're tired, you're not going to be able to do all those things. So the thing that you're doing today, what you're doing today, you're investing in for tomorrow. And the way that the food is set up here now, it's like it might be a year or two. You go ahead and veer off and overwork yourself and exhaust and don't eat right. You might see some of those things within the next year or two. I'm not putting that on you, but I'm just saying. Okay, so it's not, you're not gonna, it's not about a perfect meal. It's not about one workout. It's not even whether you eat dessert again, but it's about habits. So 6 years is going to pass whether you start today or not. And it's better to start something and fall and come up. And I tell my clients, that's what happens. Like you do well, you're going to fall off, come back. But this is different from just, I'm not even doing this anymore. I'm just doing my own thing, right? This is a road. It's bumpy, it's hard. This is just what you do and what's comfortable. And that's going to get you a result. This is going to get you a result. Okay. But you're on the journey. That's what I tell my clients when they start feeling like you're in the trenches. You're on the journey. Your face is marred. Whew, you had to outrun a Cheeto today. Cheeto was trying to get you. I'm being silly. But you're in the process. So start. Start today because God willing, 6 years from now, we'll all be here and you'll either be better or worse. There's no staying the same. Okay, so your challenge this week, pick 3 things: one nutrition habit, one movement habit, one recovery self care habit. So maybe it's I'm going to eat protein at breakfast or even eat breakfast. I have one about coffee. Hope you all aren't just drinking coffee for breakfast. Please watch that video. Please, please, please. Okay. Uh, Maybe the movement is I'm going to walk 8,000 steps. The phone, I know people have Fitbit, but the phone, at least the iPhone, doesn't record your steps. So if you have a phone, throw it in the bag, walk all day. Um, and maybe the recovery is I'm going to put my phone down at 9:30 and get to sleep a little earlier. That's it. You don't need a 27-step transformation plan. Start imperfect, mess up, adjust, keep going. Start imperfect, mess up, adjust, keep going. So yes, summer is over. Maybe you didn't do everything you wanted to do. And summer's not over, by the way. We got at least another month from the time that I'm recording this video. Thought I'd just say that. Probably because my birthday is in August. Shout out to the Leos. All right, stay focused. So yes, summer is coming to a close. Maybe you haven't done everything you want to do. Maybe your routine got completely thrown off. Okay. And we're not going to beat ourselves about it. But we're going to start today, this week. Do something. So don't spend another 3 months waiting for the perfect time. Your future self is counting on what you decide to do now. And if this video helped you, send it to another woman over 40 who keeps saying, I'll start. someday, or I messed up, or that you just think this might resonate with. And don't forget to subscribe for more practical fitness, nutrition, and wellness tips for women over 40. It's your girl, Chelsea C. Take care. See you on the next video.